Hey, this is Lorenzo Sellers, and you're on episode 5 of Breakthrough Radio. It is a fact that most famous people you see and know today start off very small. It is a natural way of life that all great things have small beginnings. You're just seeing the tip of the iceberg when you see popular and successful people living the life of luxury. However, very few realize what those individuals had to go through to get to where they are now. They all started out just like any normal person. Who they are now is completely different from who they were a year or two ago. We live in a society today that wants everything now rather than later. The lessons that we're taught of how to become successful by setting up a proper foundation have been lost and scattered into the winds. You have videos on YouTube that teach these same principles viewed far less than videos that promote unsuccessful habits. I mean, seriously, these helpful videos will only have 5,000 views, while a video of street fights, twerking, and men dancing as women will have well over 1 million views. Society has lost its way with the times of increasing technology and has gotten quite lazy. There are advertisements everywhere that promote quick wealth and abundance by giving up thousands of dollars to obtain. All of this is making it hard to see past the distractions and reaching the one truth behind success. Obtain the mindset necessary to create the proper plan in line with your goals and act on them, which is why I created the cycle of successful achievement philosophy. It has been proven many times that the quicker you gain wealth, the faster you'll lose it if you're not ready to receive it. Take lottery winners, for example. How many people do you know who won the lottery for an upwards amount of $200 million, taking them out of poverty, and who are either on their way back or already landed back into poverty? These particular individuals weren't ready for wealth because they didn't spend the time required to gain the mindset to hold on to wealth. Anything built on a weak foundation will fall. This falls true when it comes to building a successful career in business. The point to reaching a goal is the experience you gain while on the journey. This is what the first year to building your successful career, business, or the reputation at your job is all about. This is a critical step to your success. People just don't become successful in the same year they start working on a dream. What this podcast, what this episode is talking about today, and what we have in store for you today is what you will need to know and do the year prior to see massive results in the following year. This episode will be a real momentum builder for anyone who would like to see more zeros in their paycheck. Face the truth now and you will be one step ahead of most people today. If you have been wasting your time cruising through YouTube looking for waste of time videos, here's your chance now to come to a decision that will change the foundation of your life. The fact of the matter is this: if you don't build upon yourself and do what it takes within the first year, you won't see any improvement in the second. The second year will look a whole lot like the first one. People like Steve Harvey, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, and even Warren Buffett all started making the necessary moves in their first year that changed the rest of their lives. It's easy to think that these people would have led very different lives if they never did what they did in the beginning to get to where they are now. To live a very comfortable life, one must own up and take responsibility over their own actions. Without doing this, there is no way you can control your circumstances. Take the wheel of your life and guide yourself. There is a power in becoming a focused individual, which I will explain later on in this episode. The point in taking 1 year to set yourself up is to build momentum. Allow me to explain the effects of using a profound law that works every single time you embrace its power. Last year around this time, I learned a very important lesson when it comes to accomplishing the impossible. Many times people have started something they were passionate about in the beginning and then stopped when a challenge that seemed too great to overcome appeared. We tend to get that "I'll slow down for now" mentality and wind up slowing down to a complete stop. I know for personal experience that once you stop, it's really difficult to start again, especially when it comes to creating a way to generate income, changing your health standards, and starting a new habit. However, you have people out there who faced their giant, beat the odds, and then proceeded to succeed in a massive way. How did they do it? How do you overcome the odds and get what you want anyway? Most people will call this luck, but we should know by now that luck is nothing more than preparedness meeting the moment of opportunity. So what is it? Pay close attention to the master key to success I'm about to unveil to you and the wisdom of this profound law. The key to using the first year to jumpstart results lie within the undeniable law of momentum. This law indicates that once you start something and continue to move forward, despite of the many obstacles that you will face, you will eventually succeed. This has been the foundation of my success ever since I started changing the lives of many. The law of momentum is like a snowball effect when pushed down a snowy mountain. The snowball gets larger over the time it's rolling down the mountain. What seemed small at first is now large. For Steve Jobs, this was no different. He started Apple in a garage with a couple of friends and associates. Most would say that he would have never succeeded if he had quit after the first no he got from calling different investors. There's no denying that those who comprehend this law will see challenges, situations, and even failure as stepping stones for growth and a catalyst toward massive success. The bottom line is this: use this law to your advantage. Once you stop because your journey got too hard, it's likely that you'll have to start over from scratch. What will make your journey that much longer and that much more difficult? For example, it only took me 4 years to become a millionaire, simply because I kept my momentum, while it took my competitors 40 years because it stopped them every time. They stopped every time they came across a road bump. This law works and is incredibly powerful. Will you take advantage of this law, or will you kill your momentum by allowing outside forces such as discouraging talks from friends and family, challenges, situations, and circumstances to dictate your journey? The choice, when it comes down to it, is completely yours. This is the basis behind this episode: building up enough momentum to send your income to new record highs as soon as a year or two rolls around. Now, the only question left is this: what is it that you need to do to build such massive momentum? Throughout the rest of this episode and what you're about to hear in the next 10 minutes, you will learn step by step what it is that you need to do to place yourself in an unprecedented spot for next year. It's going to take time. However, I can guarantee you that if you use every single month maximizing what you're about to learn, you will see the results that I have promised you. Now, what we're about to go over are the first 3 principles of that step-by-step process I was telling you about. And the first principle is using the power of your mind. Did you know that the most powerful tool that you have is your mind? By thinking alone, you are generating the power needed to completely change your life around. The more time you spend on a singular thought, no matter if it's negative or positive, the more it reflects in your actions. We as human beings live our lives based off of the chain of thoughts we concentrate on. When you dwell on the thought of your last breakup, your actions will reflect rather feeling is generating that experience. When you think on a plan that would take you to new level of income, you will begin to incorporate actions dedicated to that thought. Your mind is truly powerful and can be used to create answers to our most challenging problems. However, why is it that so many people fail to use their minds properly by not thinking of solutions to their problems? Most of the time, people tend to spend so much time worrying about things that won't happen instead of creating their futures using the gift of thought. No one is without problems. It's all a part of living. But let me show you how much time we waste in worrying about the wrong problems. Here's a reliable estimate of what people worry about most of the time. Things that will never happen, 40%. Things that can't be changed by worrying, 30%. Needless health worries, 12%. Petty miscellaneous worries, 10%. Real legitimate worries, 3%. There are two kinds of problems that we face. The kind that can be solved by us and the kind that is beyond our ability to solve. Most problems fall into the ones that can be solved by us. So we dedicate massive amounts of time worrying when we should be using our powerful minds to come up with solutions. The reason I'm digging into the subject of worrying is because this plays a huge role in your workplace or your business, and especially your life. You will, or you've already faced numerous problems that will force you to worry more and think less. It's best you embrace the fact that no matter where you go and what you do in life, you will always bump into problems. One thing you must learn about life is that you could be doing either or. You could waste time by worrying about the effects of that problem that came up at work, or you can utilize your time towards solving that problem, which will make you a hero. This is what makes the difference between an expendable and a superstar. Another ability that your mind is capable of is self-creation. You become what you think about. I never thought that I would be speaking to millions of people per year. The only thing I had to do was visualize myself doing such a task and then do it. I started to talk like a speaker, think like a speaker, and write like a best-selling author. The benefits behind me using the power of self-creation was astronomical. My hunger for knowledge on the subject of success grew day by day. The more people I helped, the more I wanted to learn about life and to become a better coach. There is a great power behind a person who can use his mind to create his reality. If you see yourself as a manager, commit to the thought and act on it. You will find yourself going the extra mile every day. You will eventually find yourself in a position of manager. The same goes for becoming a CEO or creating your very own multi-million-dollar business. Which brings us to using the source of all creativity and the final point on the power of your mind. For centuries, people have been searching for the source of ideas that can transform a person's life financially forever. Few people figured out what it took. It is the source of our creativity, and it's where the crazy ideas come from and how one's bank account jumps up by several zeros. Allow me to reveal to you the concept that will change your entire way of thinking when it comes to being the originator of great ideas. If you want to increase what is in your real world bank account, draw from your IBA or your infinite bank account. Rather than money being in this inner account, are ideas and concepts worth millions. All you have to do to withdraw from this account and cash in on those ideas is to act on them. Simple to do for the few who understands the basic concept. They are the people who other people are working for. For many people who understand this concept and choose to go for the illusion of being safe route, this may be a hard and rather difficult concept to grasp. However, the key to having a massive bank account is to have a very open mind. Those who find it hard to commit to this concept are the very same people who commit their time, money, and resources to build millions for other people. People like Bill Gates used this very same concept when he created Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg also withdrew from his IBA to create Facebook, making him the youngest billionaire ever. We all have an IBA within our minds. The question is, how do you access this vault of gold? Tip number 1. Find a quiet place to go to. No distractions, no TV, no computer, no radio. All you have with you is a pen and paper to write down your ideas. Then you close your eyes and reach back into the darkest regions of your mind. And I want you to think back to when you had an aha moment or when a crazy idea hit you. Think of the things you see that can be done if done differently. It could be done better if it was done differently. No matter how silly you think it is. Make sure it's something that you feel confident that you can approach if you set your mind to it. If you feel you can't, do it anyway and surprise yourself. And open your eyes and write down all the ideas and concepts that you withdrew from your IBA. In the most common case, this is critical thinking. However, looking at it from the perspective of withdrawing from your inner bank account will help many to overcome the thought of this being a hard task. Take some time to go over this principle and make many withdrawals as you wish. There is no limit to what you can accomplish and no limit to your abundant ideas. Also, when you're using your mind, you must learn that without expansion, there is no growth. You know what you know, and you only perform up to what knowledge you already acquired. Remember that whatever goes on within the darkest regions of your mind will surely reflect on your outside actions. What does this mean for you and your income? What you think about and how you think about them will determine the level of income you earn and the type of house you live in, the type of car you drive, the type of relationships you have, etc. Take a look at what you have right now. Everything that you have around you will tell you what type of thoughts you grant attention to. I'm going to say that again. Take a look at what you have right now. Everything that you have around you, everything that you see, will tell you what type of thoughts you grant attention to. This can make a real impact on your life. Since your most dominant thoughts will determine the type of actions you take, which will determine the type of lifestyle you live, it would be best to expand your mind by learning all that you can. A person who only knows of working for wages cannot hope to attain the millionaire mark. By learning and applying different and honorable ways to earn income, the chances of attaining such a mark increase. I know we all said it before. We heard that before. It's nothing new. There is a reason why so many people still work for wages and a small amount earn giant amounts of income. Because one may have heard helpful information before, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you utilize it. It's not enough to just know about something. It's useless if you don't put it to practical use. Here is one secret to success. Listen from those who have gone to where you want to go. You can get this from books, your mentor, programs, and seminars, and apply these steps to your own venture, and leave nature no choice but to send success your way. This alone will change the way you think, therefore changing your actions and creating a different set of results you wouldn't have gotten if you didn't apply the one secret to success. This also works on other aspects other than money. The bottom line is this: expand your mind in the direction you want to go, exceed your limits, and create desired results. You got to remember that the power that you hold in your mind is astronomical. Now we'll go into principle 2. One who good fortune favors. How many times have you seen someone that you may or may not know always receive what they want? Those very few are oftentimes called the lucky ones or the blessed. It doesn't seem to matter what the circumstances are for them. If they want something, they'll get it. And in the speed in which they get their prize is so great, one would think that they made a deal with the devil himself. However, the key to receiving such a gift of good fortune lies dormant in those who have yet to recognize the full potential of what they have. There are two types of people in the world that both hold power, except one of those types control the positive end of that power. Just like everything else in this world, there are two sides to fortune. One side gives you everything you want and need, and the other side gives you less desirable results. What side you wind up with, what side you wind up using, depends on the type of person you are. The first type of person are those who have no aims in life. They have no goals set and absolutely no plans to follow. They're the ones who make up the greatest number of employees in big name companies, small stores, and warehouses. They are the followers to those who created the master plan by setting a goal and acting on it. They are the ones who would rather blame others for their mistakes and refuse to take responsibility. They are the ones who would rather watch television all day instead of using that time to develop themselves. They are the individuals who work on many projects but finish none. This particular type of person goes with the flow and allows life to happen to them while waiting patiently on a miracle to solve all of their problems. 98% of the world's population today falls in the category of the distracted. There's no way possible for anyone who chooses to stay in the whirlpool of the distracted to attain their most wanted desires in this world. Those who aspire to nothing will gain just that, nothing. You will find one of the distracted wallowing in their own dark corner of self-pity. This kind consistently complains about how unfair life is. Let's not forget the sense of entitlement that takes up most of the distracted's belief system. This is by far the most dangerous aspect of the distracted. The mind is never without some type of thought, unless the person is brain dead. With thoughts of entitlement taking up your mind, there will be little to no increase in your annual income. Your career, business, or job will go absolutely nowhere. Without progression, there is only death that awaits you. Death of your career, death of your business, and then unemployment will all become a thing of reality. By allowing thoughts other than becoming successful to take over a great percentage of your mind, you're allowing the devil to do his handiwork on you. Every negative thought that you allow to grow, you could bet that your circumstances won't get better. Situations will spiral out of control, and your boss, if you have one, will continue to make your experience in the workplace a living hell. Once, not too long ago, I had a client who fell into the category of the distracted. He had so many great ideas that he wanted to work on. So he did, only to find out that nothing was getting done at all. Oftentimes, the few that actually do act on their dream of becoming financially free fall short of starting on a million things all at the same time. I advised him to do what the other type of person that I'm about to reveal to you would do, to focus on one major project at a time. By finishing one project that is generating income, you can now begin another. The type of person that life grants good fortune to is called the focused. Those who focus on what they want tend to get just that. They are the ones who are always developing themselves. They are the leaders of major companies. They are the ones who set goals and act on them. They are the ones who seem to always get that raise at work. They are the ones who live on the best street, driving the newest car, and always wearing the best clothes. They are the ones who are always smiling and sharing ideas with the rest of the world. They are courageous and never allow fear to keep them in one spot. It goes back to that saying, life favors the bold. But that's half the secret. What it should say is life favors the focused. If you truly think about it, great men and women who have done great and even terrible things to and for this world falls into the category of people. No matter if your goal is good or evil, by staying focused on your target, you will hit it. By sticking to what you believe in, acting on your goals, and staying focused on your goals, you will reach them, and life will yield to you everything that you could ever want and need. No matter how meager your job may seem right now, no matter if your career is dangerously close to coming to an end, or your business is slowly fading, by providing the right actions that I'm going to show you throughout this episode, for the rest of this episode, you can and you will save your own life. You too can become just as successful as all the greats. Embrace the lifestyle of the focused and everything will fall into place. We all live in a world that provides for those who are determined to reach their goals and are willing to do what it takes to achieve them. Makes you wonder why only 2% of the population, by the way, that's the percentage that controls 98% of the money flow in America, utilizes this ageless truth. Why would most of the population choose to be distracted, knowing that life is meaningless without some sort of goal? Most fear success because it may be an unknown entity to them. Others fear the possibility of failure, therefore never starting because of it. People tend to fear what they do not understand and what they cannot see right away. In today's world, if results cannot be seen right away, no one is interested in being focused. So they rather be distracted by things that cannot possibly yield results of any kind. So I'm going to tie up this principle by giving you seeds of greatness that can help you remember what this principle is all about. Remember that life favors the focused. In life, you will either be focused or distracted, and life will give you whatever you set your sights and mind on, negative or positive. And remember, wealth of all kinds are attracted to those who focus on one project and completes that project before they start on another. God's gift is the power of focus. The devil's gift is the power of distraction. And we are finally on our last principle for today, which is called the $1 billion thought. It doesn't matter what you encounter on the road ahead. What does matter is the light that you shed on those encounters. These were the last words that I spoke to one of my clients at the end of our contract. Within the last phase of my coaching program, I shared the $1 billion thought with all my clients. This is a certain way of thinking that will propel you to higher levels of achievement within your business, career, or job. Although a very simple concept, it has been proven that many people struggle with this step of my program. Our thoughts carry a significant role in how we respond to different situations and challenges that we endure in our lives. With that being said, it is important that we realize the power that we hold in controlling most of our circumstances in life. Yes, you did hear that correctly. You hold the power to controlling 98.5% of your circumstances and situations. I remember a time when I was in a restaurant and I asked the workers there how they viewed problems. One of the workers said that they saw problems as obstacles that eventually they have to overcome. The other one said that problems vary from person to person. They were both right in a general sense, but then I shared the $1 billion thought with them that would soon change the way they live life. I responded with this: I want you to both remember this and use this in your everyday thinking. Your problems are the manifestation of all your worries of an outcome that will never happen. The key to eliminating all your problems is to stop worrying. Then your problems become challenges that you can and will easily overcome eventually. At that moment, they both had an aha expression on their faces, similar to the one that you could be making right now. The reason why this is called the $1 billion thought lies in the fact that this is the way of thinking that will shrink all your problems into small road bumps. Everybody has their own challenges to deal with, but what may seem like a problem to you may not be a problem to your business associates. It may not be a problem to someone who have already been through it. It's all about how you view these problems that you're encountering. I had to come to this truth myself years ago when I first arrived in San Diego. I transferred to a different command with the Navy at the time, from Washington State. Bills began to stack high, debts were getting deeper, and my stress was rising to even greater heights due to the inflation of the cost of living. I was a mess, to say the least. I allowed what seemed at the time as problems to become a burden on me and my pockets. The moment that changed my life and the path I was taking forever happened one night when I spoke to my inner counsel through my dreams. For those of you who do not know what an inner counsel is, let me refer you to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich for that answer. The answer I got back was astounding. By looking at my problems in a different light, they became easier to manage. I no longer allowed these challenges to stress me out. If anything, I began to have fun overcoming these obstacles. Isn't it amazing how a simple turn in thought can completely change the rules of the game? I began to see how all those millionaires and billionaires got to where they are today. We all face our problems differently, but how we choose to view those problems will determine if we step down and land in deeper water, hesitate to move at all, and continue to allow the problems to exist, or to view the problem as a challenge and step up to grow to a level where the problem is easy to solve. Throughout your journey, you will face obstacles designed to stump you. The lesson here is to view those obstacles as stepping stones to a greater purpose. A simple change in the direction of the tide can take you to a different destination. Here are 6 practical steps for overcoming your challenges. Don't see your challenge as a problem. The first thing that comes to mind of most people with challenges is that they begin to see their challenges as limitations to their success. The moment you begin to see your challenges as problems, you begin to have more problems because worry and fear begins to set in. The truth is, the way you see your challenges determine how they will affect you. If you see your challenges as the walls of Jericho rather than opportunities in disguise, then those challenges will affect you more than they are supposed to. But if you see your challenges as opportunities in disguise, then you will be able to tackle them and to get the message that the problems are trying to pass across to you. Also, remain positive. The greatest of men are known to always remain calm when they face their challenges. They are used to speaking positively, so when they face challenges, they will remain positive. Staying positive is one of the keys to solving your problems, and when used well, could help you get out of difficulties. When you remain positive, you put yourself in the right position to tackle your problems effectively. Learn from the challenge. There is no problem in this world that does not come with something new to learn from it, and with every lesson comes a tangible solution. You must understand that it is not all about being positive and not seeing the challenges as a problem alone, but also about learning from the challenge itself and looking for a way forward rather than complaining, worrying, and giving excuses. Every challenge you face is just like an examination, and once you pass the obstacle standing in your way, you get elevated to the next level. Before every examination in a lesson that brings positive answers to the questions set into the examination. The challenge that did not kill you has just added to you, made you stronger, given you a new experience, and has just tested you to know if you are fit for the next position God is taking you to. Remain focused and determined. There is no battle that can be won in life without remaining focused and determined. And like my millionaire mentor always told me, determination is the key to great achievements. Many people have learned from their challenges, and they know what would get them out of this obstacle, but they are not determined and focused enough. Have someone you can always speak with. Not everybody is fit to undertake your challenges with you, and not everybody is fit to know the obstacles set in front of you. But it's advisable to have someone you can speak to that could serve as an advisor or a mentor to you, someone that can monitor your progress, and someone that is trustworthy and will always be willing to listen to you. Just do as I do for my clients. You must be able to be accountable for this person, and the person must be someone that is better and more knowledgeable than you. This person will be able to give you meaningful advice, monitor your progress, and also support you in prayers. And the last point, remember that God is able. There are 3 kinds of people I know. Those that remember God only when they have troubles, those that forget God when they have troubles, and those that always serve God, whether it's trouble or not. The wise people fall into the 3rd category. To wrap up this final principle, we're going to end it off with another part of Seeds of Greatness. Remember that problems are the manifestation of all your worries of an outcome that would never happen. Also, problems won't exist once you stop worrying and put your faith in God and act on them as though you cannot fail. Challenges do arise. Accept it as a part of your journey to success, and you will be just fine. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Breakthrough Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to elevate the ordinary to extraordinary.
Hey guys, this is Christina Robbins. If you would like to know more about Lorenzo Sellers or learn about his upcoming book, please visit www.makingithappenbig.com. This has been a Breakthrough Success Training production.